Um, Welcome everybody. We're live, and we're talking about
Hi.
Grimdark Choose Your Own Adventure here on
I
Christmas.
don't understand how choose your own adventure works in the written form. How does that work?
So you start reading. You'll read a little bit. It says, okay, you get to hear. What do you do? A, turn to page 47. B, turn to
Okay.
page 83, and you read some more. You make choices, and then ultimately you have an ending. But this is in a world where Rod is here. Welcome, Rod.
Hi.
This is a world that's very grim, where you're on the border with centaurs and humans who shoot each other on sight. So a lot of paths end up you dying.
Naturally.
So
that's set in Australia.
So how are you gonna make it your short page count if you got how many storylines are you gonna write?
I have the first one. It goes into three, A, B, or C, and I finished the whole A or the whole thing, so I know what those are. So I'm a third of the way through. And I told Ro that when I started, man, I'd be lucky if I'm even 40 pages. This is probably a disaster. And I'm like, well, I'm up over 70 already, and I'm only a third of the way through. And some of these will require, more stuff, so it'll be more than just one page. So I'm probably up over 300 pages by the time I'm done, is what I'm looking at now.
I'm sorry. I think you need to split more paths. Like each path has to split.
I
want an 800-page book out of you so that you can get over your page limit obsession.
So, Palmer, I am convinced that when I write book 7 of the Pertani series, the conclusion, and that will be the conclusion, that it'll be less than 500 pages, and then I'm going to have to just quit all my social medias because I will never hear the end of it from everyone.
That's good.
Yeah, then you'll have to read Heliotrope after that.
I do have the audio. I am going to listen to it. But
Merry Christmas.
Yep.
Greetings everyone, and I guess you're all done having whatever festivities you have, and you want to get away from either in-laws, outlaws, rambunctious children, or what have you, and spending it here with us. And thank you very much.
So we should probably go around the horn, and let's start with the person in the future. Jay, how's Boxing Day going for you?
Yes, Boxing Day is going very well. It's very quiet. Not much happening in my neck of the woods, and I'm literally in the woods.
Nice. Where are you at in Australia?
I'm
roughly?
in the probably an hour and a half from Sydney, so I'm in the Blue Mountains, but on the non-tourist side.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, you have no idea where he's talking about, do you?
He said non-tourist side.
I know that Australia had forests, but I suppose the cute little koala bears, I guess, are in trees, so that would mean forest. I always have pictured it like tundra, like kangaroo, like prairie land.
Yeah, well, I think there's a rule with all our movies. It has to be set in the outback, which is a very small portion of our. Well, really? Very large. Most of our population's on the east coast, and it's all cities, and we actually do have snow. Sometimes.
Wow. Do you have ski slopes?
Yeah, well, one of our most famous ones, Thredbo, which is Mount Kosciuszko. So I think 3 months of the year it's a snowfield, so people get down there and pay ridiculous amounts of money to fly down the hill at high speeds.
Naturally.
So are there roving bands of emus that you have to be wary of?
Not where I live, no. But I have seen a few around. They're more inland. West Coast, where the Emu War happened.
This is my one and only animal-related question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do wombats make good pets?
No, I don't think they
that's
would.
A shame.
My uncle used to own a
cute.
Well, my uncle used to own a nut farm, and he had huge problems with them because they just came in eating everything, and they'd get through the fence because they're pretty big.
Right. Well, I mean, but if you...
What do they look like?
Given that scenario, I can see where they'd be a problem.
Yeah. No, they're like how would you describe a wombat? It's like
a ground. It's like a what do they
I'll
call
go
it?
get a picture. We'll put
Ground.
one up. Hold on.
Yeah, I just looked it up. It's not groundhog. It's another one like that, a little bigger hedgehog.
it's the one animal we have that if you hit it with a car, it will get up and walk away, and your car will be totaled. Because they're just muscle.
How
All
big
they
are they?
muscle.
How big are they?
Oh,
They can be quite big.
They can. I think like a meter long. Some of them,
Oof.
or just under.
Like the size of a pig,
There's some huge ones.
like a little pig.
Hold on, coming right at you. We got it.
Coming right.
We got it hooked up. Give me a sec. I just think they're awesome, and I want one.
They dig a lot.
That's fine.
Okay. So AB Timothy, Al, how are you doing? Wow,
my
that
Is that-
wow.
They get that big?
Yep.
That
Oh,
looks like a capybara,
oh my goodness.
if you know what those are.
Yeah,
We get
it's
them.
cute.
Very adorable.
But I mean, it's cute like a koala without the chlamydia. So,
I thought it was syphilis.
chlamydia.
Uh,
Yeah, and koalas are constantly high all the time.
the eucalyptus leaves.
Yeah, that's why they sleep like for 2/3 of the day.
Oh, wow.
I mean, come on, let's face it. That's the dream, right?
Yeah, that's my spirit animal.
And every now and again they scream. Just kidding.
Again, my spirit animal.
they have some horrible hallucination and
Yeah.
crazy.
Probably, yeah, my brother-in-law came across one when he grew up way up north at a place called Port Macquarie, and he said he walked outside one day. There was just screaming, and he walked out, and there's a koala in the middle of the street, just going, just roaring.
He's having a bad trip, man. Poor thing.
Yeah.
Now STD rattled mammal just screaming in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
Al, how are you doing? Before we talk more about chlamydia and screaming animals, let's move on.
I'm doing well.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm here in Tucson, Arizona, Southwest United States.
Oh, and what's the temperature?
Oh gosh, it's Christmas, so it's a nice, cool 75 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, wonderful.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it's great. This is especially. Last week it was down in the 50s or maybe high 40s. I prefer that, to be honest, but I have to live in the 70s. So, but also, in the summertime we get a nice brisk 105, 110, something like that. So it's a good time. Lots of variation throughout the year.
I love Tucson, but I've never been there in the summer. I used to go to the Gem and Mineral Show all the time, like in February. It's cold out.
Yep.
Actually.
Yeah, the February is a nice time of year. It's kind of winter's like in its stride in that time of year. I think if we ever get snow, which we have a couple times since I've been here, my whole life, but a couple times we've gotten snow, it's been in February, late January, so it is nice that time of year. And of course, we have stuff like the Tucson Science Fiction Fantasy Convention, which is one of the oldest conventions in Arizona. It's like 54 years old or something like that. So
Nice.
yeah, there's lots of cool stuff happening in Tucson.
Yeah, I like that. I love the saguaro forests.
Yep.
Forest quote, but it's
Forest
amazing.
is a good word.
It's
but yeah.
it's a lush desert environment. It's amazing, actually.
Mhm.
So I actually had a vacation plan with my nephew to go to Utah and Arizona to see the national parks,
Mhm.
and we were going to drive south like 3 hours just to see the saguaro cacti.
Yep.
And then of course COVID happened, so I never got to go. But saguaro cacti are still on my wish list of things to do, because that's me. So
Yeah.
Palmer, you have made it in. High winds have not ruined your internet. How is life?
Life is good. I don't have any power. Well, I do have power because I have a gas generator. So you see light. In fact, I need to turn excess lights off because I'm running on a gas generator. But the internet works. It was out for a while, but it's back. So yeah, we had high winds. I live in a forest as well. I live in a redwood forest in California, and like trees come down. Like we had winds up to like 60 miles an hour, and these trees are like 100 feet tall, and they just snap and branches come down. And one came through my neighbor's roof in the middle of the night, went into their bedroom like this across the bed, hit her here. So she has this huge stitches and this black eye, and it could have killed her. I mean, it could have taken her eye out. Like they're called widowmakers, these branches. They're as big as trees. It's insane. Yeah, so it's frightening. Yeah.
Okay.
But otherwise, things are good. Alive. The winds have stopped more or less. They're still going.
Good. So tonight we got people from exotic locales. We have the hills of Australia. We have Tucson, Arizona. We have a redwood forest. Rod, where are you calling in from? What exotic locale are you located in?
Northern Kentucky.
Which is exotic only if you're from Southern Kentucky.
Yeah.
I mean,
Are you in horse?
I'd imagine it's pretty exotic for me. So.
Now, Rod and I actually grew up probably like 15 minutes away from each other.
Yeah.
We're north of horse country. The Kentuckians always used to tell me when I went to college that I wasn't a real Kentuckian. I was a Midwestern person because northern Kentucky is not part of the state. So, we're unwanted by our own state.
Yeah. Well, we are greater Cincinnati. That's really what we are. I said when we spoke before, Mike, I can throw a rock and hit Cincinnati downtown. So yeah. I've lived all over Kentucky, though. I've lived in all four corners, and honestly, I guess the best thing I can say about this little state is it's beautiful. We've got rolling hills and mountains, and it's very beautiful. I see a lot of places on the internet all around the world that are flat as a pancake, and for me, that's so weird because Kentucky's all hills and mountains, and so that's a big difference. And well, it's home, so to me, it's beautiful. I don't have any koala bears anywhere.
No wombats.
No random screams in the middle of the night.
Hopefully not. If you go to Cincinnati, though. Oh.
So
And then
what was
Ro and I.
everybody's, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Ro and I are in Virginia. Ro is in the Blue Ridge Mountains, and I'm just south of Richmond. Nothing special. Near the Appomattox River. Yay.
So
Anyway.
we're in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I think we talked about this.
I'm in Blacksburg.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we talked about that. This is where my brother lives. Well, Roanoke. I mean,
Yeah,
Craig County.
yeah, Roanoke's just up the road a bit.
I mean, wrong state, but I've heard that area is almost heaven.
Uh-huh.
Well, one of you
Yeah.
guys.
You may have heard that. That's all right.
So who got books for Christmas?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. What was everybody's highlight? This was the first year in forever I did not get a single book for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
You did it wrong.
I just got my I got 2 books, but I also got like my broken binding that I saved to open, which I didn't open yet, but yeah.
That doesn't count.
It does. It's wrapped.
Yeah.
But you bought it.
I just shut down my subscription because I literally have no more space for books, and it's going to take me like 3 lifetimes to read the ones I have. So I finally stopped, even though they're beautiful. So yeah.
I gave my nephew a book for Christmas. I wasn't that uncle though. Like I did get him some other fun gifts, but I did also give him the book, and I think the Nerf gun I got him will be great for a couple of weeks. It'll keep him stimulated, but I think the book, if he actually reads it, will do a lot more for him. Which I say that as an English major in college. So what do I know?
How old is he?
He's 8, turning 9 next year. So
Depends on the Nerf gun, really.
That's true. That's very true. I got him like a really high powered one. The ones he had were kind of like on the lower end of the scale, but this one can like snipe somebody 100 yards out, and it's a really solid Nerf gun. So hopefully he takes good care of it. He's taking pretty good care of his Nerf rifles. So
You ever see those guys online who who rig up Nerf guns that will shoot on full auto, and they'll have a bucket with like 200 or 300 rounds of Nerf ammo.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
He doesn't have a bucket like that, but he has a belt-fed machine gun that you can hold like in two hands, or you can put it on a tripod, and it's
Nice.
it's just a bushel of fun. It takes like 10 minutes to reload the thing, but then you get 30 seconds of just pure joy while you're just like mowing down your brother, and it's it's a good time.
Yeah, you're that uncle, huh? Your brother
Well,
or
hey,
sister,
hey.
whichever, must be thrilled with you.
Listen, my brother. I am one of my nephew's favorite uncles. I'm convinced. He has 4 uncles to choose from. The both of them do. So I feel like I'm pretty high up there. I don't know.
So there's a competition, like who's the coolest uncle?
I mean, it's kind of an unspoken competition because like there's really no competition happening. It's pretty obvious that it's me, but I can
Absolutely.
say that because I'm the only one here to defend that title. So.
Absolutely true. It is always unspoken, but it is always a competition.
Real. So true.
I had 3 brothers who were all uncles. We were all uncles, and I'm the cool uncle. So,
Amen.
That man, that surprises me because you told us some of the nonsense you do to your poor nephew, and you might be deluding yourself there, Mike. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what your brothers are like, so maybe you are the cool uncle, but
trust me, I am. I took him to Europe.
Belt-fed ammo freaking Nerf gun cool uncle.
I took him to Europe.
All right.
I mean,
That's pretty cool.
and all, but
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, beat that, AB Timothy.
Oh no, he can be the cool uncle in his family. That's fine. But I had to beat my 2 brothers out, and now my nephews are 28 and 25, and so I just tell them they're stupid.
Classic.
God, man, what's going on? You're not saying much. I'm kind of concerned for you there, down in the corner. Oh,
Who, Rod?
Hi, I'm sorry.
Rod had a little too much eggnog today. He's kind of working it off.
I was wondering about it, and I'm a little bit comatose from the Christmas dinner. I had the blessing of going to my mom's house, and she's 81 years old, and she can still rock that kitchen. And I just ate in such a manner, such amazing food, that like a 15th century king would beg me for my chair. That's how good it was, and so I'm a little comatose from that, I think, and I'm brain dead half the time anyway. But I ate so much. Did you guys gorge yourselves on Christmas feast, or am I just a Kentucky guy that ate a lot for one day?
Well, I have to cook, so I had cheese and crackers for my Christmas dinner. So,
Yeah, we didn't really do a big Christmas feast today, but we had at my brother's house yesterday for Christmas Eve. That's where all the food was, and it was pretty solid food too.
I'm going to say this in the hopes that none of my relatives are actually watching and or listening to this, and I'm pretty sure they aren't. But my mother, who is 90, still has not really learned to cook well. So yeah, I don't go there for any meal intensive holidays.
That's grounds for crucifixion, my friend. Just be careful.
But my wife is an awesome cook, so
there you go.
Wagyu steaks. Oh my God, I'm jealous,
Huge.
Mr. Sebastian Carlisle. Yeah.
Are they worth it, Sebastian? Because I mean, I don't know. I'm a little suspicious of any steak that costs more than the cow.
Right.
Of the pampered cow. It's the pampering that it costs.
Still.
Yeah,
There are some things that are good or better than.
Save up for 3 years.
I mean, Australia has amazing beef, I hear. A friend of mine goes there like just for the beef.
We actually have a Wagyu station, which I've been meaning to go to because it has a restaurant attached to it.
Oh, nice.
And in my head, it's that Simpsons episode where Mr. Burns is like, "I'll have that one." So you know it's fresh.
Yeah.
Oh, Sebastian, that's not bad. That's all right. My wife and I were in DC this week, and I don't know if you guys ever watch like Top Chef or anything like that, but there was a guy who was a contestant on Top Chef named Kwame, and I can't pronounce his last name, but he runs a restaurant at this hotel in DC that we were at, and it was fantastic.
What hotel?
The Salamander in Washington, D.C. So if you're ever there, the restaurant's called Dogon. Excellent stuff. Fantastic. And I am one of those people that I see frou-frou food and I kind of go, eh. But first time in my life I have ever had collard greens. And
Liked.
they were sensational. And I'm not a vegetable person.
Bacon.
What's that?
They're good with bacon.
Well, you know what's
I could
even
go
better?
for
Skip
bacon.
the collards and just
the
have the
bacon.
bacon.
Yeah, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I can't.
Amen.
Yeah, so it took like a great chef to make collard greens taste good. That's good.
Well, I mean, I've never had it before, so I don't know. But I will tell you, there is an adult version of butterbeer that you need to try, and it requires vanilla vodka and butterscotch schnapps mixed 1-to-1 with cream soda and whipped cream, and that will keep your day hoing along quite happily.
Oh,
That's wild.
It sounds incredibly sweet.
It is. I decided that today I'm not diabetic, so tomorrow I'll go back to it. But today, all bets are off.
So, Rod, we're going to have you on the show next month, but tell us about this RDG Books Press, because you're like hiring people now. What on earth is going on? Are you making money in the self-published industry? Because if so, you have to share.
I guess I'm following a dream or something. I'm an older guy, and I've worked in about 5 different industries in my life. And, you know, I made money here and didn't make money there. But in this business, I have found real fulfillment. I love it. I love what I do. And RDG Books Press is a very tiny house. We publish horror and fantasy stories. And I opened it October 5th, 2024. So we're just a little over a year old. So naturally, we're in the red. I'm not making any money yet, you know. But Mark T. Bates wrote The Curse of Six. He's a wonderful example. He's in England, and he wrote this little novella, and I edited it, and we put it together. And, you know, he's had quite a bit of success with that book, and I was a part of that. And that's kind of what my press is all about. I'm 61 years old. I got into this pretty late. And I guess my biggest hope is that I'll actually really accomplish something, that I'm helping. My press almost entirely welcomes new writers, because I'm a writer, and not too long ago, a brand new writer. And I know how freaking hard it is to break into the industry, make a name for yourself, and make a buck. It's hard to do. And so my press is all about helping authors do that. And Mark is a perfect example that I had a hand in it, getting him started. He's doing very well. He's got a long career ahead of him. And I hope he'll publish with my press again, but even if he doesn't, if he goes higher and better and bigger, great. You know, every writer follows their own path. But when he's a household name, I'll be able to sit back and say, I was a part of that. And that's a big deal to me. And then my biggest hope is that years after I'm gone, my press is still helping new writers get their break and get out there in the world. And I hope that the press will outlive me by many, many years. And it's just it's not really tied to money. It's more wanting to do something really worthwhile. I mean, I spent many years as an accountant. I made a good income. Accounting is an incredibly boring job, and and I didn't really feel any fulfillment. There's not much to feel good about that I can add 2 plus 2 and come up with the right answer. You know, I wasn't really making any difference in the world. And with the press, at least for me, it's about that the feelings that I get inside, working with writers, helping them get started, teaching them what I know, learning so much from them. You know, if you got a lick of sense, you learn from everyone you encounter. You know, sometimes what you learn is not super valuable, but sometimes it's incredible, you know, and it's just been an absolutely wonderful experience. Uh, I'm doing it for what I feel inside. If I guess that sounds nuts, but that's why I'm doing it.
That's awesome.
Do you have any plan? I mean, what's your plan to start getting out of the red and into,
Oh, I
making
started
a
the
cheeseburger
company.
out of it?
Yeah, I started the company with a 10-year business plan because the publishing industry is slow moving. I mean,
Yeah.
I know Mike's a writer. There's probably at least another writer here. You know, just writing a book takes
Everybody.
time. That takes a long time. Editing takes a long time, you know, and production and then publishing and then the nightmare for all of us, marketing, you know,
Oh,
there's so much involved that you know a writer should have a 5-year plan, but a house, in my opinion, should have at least a 10-year business plan. And I'm very proud of what we've done in 1 year. I've been pretty much a one-man show most of the time, but RD Books Press now is a 4-division international company. I'm very proud of that. I've got RDG Books Press. Aaron Hook is the COO of UK operations, and he's running our branch in England. And I have Fedora Art, which is all about taking the art department from RDG Books Press. We provide very unique service to our authors. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think many publishers do this. We offer our authors 3 to 10, depending on what they want, 3 to 10 concept arts done by various artists in the company, all real art. We don't use AI for anything. And the artist is presented with all these designs and they pick the one they like the best. Then they get to work with that artist and tweak it, change the overall color, change the image, change the font, do it any way the author wants to do it. And we all work together. I'm very big on collaborative work. The artist, the author, and I all agree that that cover is the coolest it can possibly be. And when all three of us are super happy, that's the cover. Now, I don't know of another press that uses that process for the cover. And I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I just don't know of one. You know, so we took that operational system and made it available to indie authors or authors who just simply want to publish somewhere else, but they want a nice cover for a very reasonable price. So basically, we do the same thing. We just offer it to writers that, for whatever reason, they don't really want to publish with our press. That's fine, but they still need a nice cover for their book that isn't AI garbage. They need a nice cover, so we help them put it together. And then, in addition to that, I know I'm jabbering. I apologize for that. We have a 4th division, which is actually the oldest division, RDG Books Full Service Editing. We provide all the editing that a writer needs. We start with a full developmental edit, a very in-depth one, very collaborative work. Then we do a line edit, then we do a copy edit. And an edit on any book, any novella or novel takes a minimum of 3 months. We work with the author at the author's pace. We not only just spit out editing advice, we make sure that the author understands what we're suggesting and why we're suggesting it, and we don't enforce it or impose it. The author is the author, you know, and they certainly put their 2 cents in and tell us which way to go sometimes. It's a team effort. Editing should never be, you know, I work for you, you work for me. Editing is a team effort, and we put all that effort into it. And, you know, I guess this is really not the appropriate place, but currently we provide all 3 edits, developmental, line, and copy combined for 1 cent per word. I don't think anybody else does that. If you go to some of the major sites, the typical editor for any one of those three is at least 3 cents a word. And that may not sound like much, but added up for 80,000 words, it can get very expensive. And again, the reason I do that is because I'm also a writer. I pay editors to edit my work, and I know how hard it is to pay out all that day. And a lot of writers don't think about that, but you spend $1,600 for editing, $500 for your cover, and you sell your book for $12, of which your royalty is $4, maybe 5. How long is it going to take you to break even, if you're going to break even at all? So a lot of people don't think that way, but I have an accounting background, and so I try to make sure that we're providing superior service. I'm old, so I believe in integrity and honor and honesty. A lot of words that people have forgotten. I try to provide superior service at an honestly very fair rate that is hard to beat. And if you know anybody that does what I do for less than I do, I'd like to meet them, because I use editors. I hire editors all the time. Every editor will tell you that if he writes, yes, he hires an editor.
So, Rod, what books have you gotten for Christmas?
Oh, you're going to love this one. I said I'm a horror writer and a horror publisher. So my little sister got me this book for Christmas. Let me see if I can
on
get
camera.
There we go.
Britney Spears.
Can you see it?
Yep, that's horror, all right.
And I got to tell you straight up, I'm actually looking forward to reading this. Back in the day when she was on top, I was a fan. I liked her music. But even more interesting, this is a memoir. And if you think about it, that little girl was a Mouseketeer. And she grew up in the limelight. She grew up, her parents wanting to make a lot of money, I would guess. And she was into that. She got all popular and famous. And let's be honest, the press, the paparazzi, they butchered that little girl. And when she kind of went a little wacky for a while there, they ripped her to shreds. I feel sorry for Britney Spears. Yes, she's wealthy, whatever, but really the press is what it is today. It butchered her. So I'm actually interested in her memoir. I'm sure it talks about the different stages of her life and the things she had to go through, and I'll bet it's an element of a horror story, I mean, put yourself in her place at any level of her life. I would not want to live that life. I don't care how much you paid me. I don't want to live that, I don't know. What do y'all think? What do you think my sister's choice?
Is she the one who had to fight for her? Was she like somebody was in like custodial guardianship or something?
Yeah,
was that her?
Yeah, that was her.
Yeah, that's a total nightmare.
Yeah.
Like to have your freedom taken from you and like all your decisions and financial thing. Like, was it her dad who had it?
Parent. I don't know if mom.
Yeah,
Yep.
I think it was her father.
I think it was her dad. Yeah.
Yeah, and he wouldn't give it up. Ugh. So
And at the
disgusting.
same time, when you're the most vulnerable, and we've all been there where you're not 100%, and the girl's kind of cracking a little bit from the pressure of the popularity and being on stage and dealing with her family, dealing with a God knows what. And so she cracked a little bit. And you know what? Every human being will crack at some point. And God, they butchered her. I don't know if you guys saw that on TV, but the paparazzi were in her toilet taking pictures upward. I mean, these guys were all over that poor girl. And then the press was brutal. They beat her to death, And honestly, I'm really looking forward to reading that book. I think it'll be pretty fascinating. And I bet it'll be somewhat horrific, It's amazing, horror. You've got Lovecraft, you've got Clive Barker, Stephen King. Real horror is how human beings treat each other. That's the scariest thing,
Totally.
So, Palmer, how about you? What books have you gifted yourself or have you received for Christmas?
I got the Thief Who Pulls on Troubled Braids. I'm trying to get all the SPIFBO finalists, like the champions.
Yep.
I have a lot of them. I have most of them, but I'm getting the ones that are on the top. I've read the dragon thing. what's it called? The one that can't remember it right now, but I read one of the one I'm watching the contest, and it's either going to be Blood by Salt, and I have that, but I don't
Great
have the
book.
Two Peoples on Troubles Braids. What's the name of the one that is can't remember the name of it. ML Wang.
Oh, the Sword of Kaigan.
Yeah, Sword of Kaigan. Yeah, it's between that and Blood and Salt. I think this is gonna nab the first place, and then, so yeah. Anyway, that's what I got, and then I got like a politics book from my brother, and yeah, and my broken binding stuff. So that's it. Merry Christmas, Bailey. Books and sport.
So, Al, how about you? What books have you received or bought for yourself?
So the thing is, I don't read nearly as much as I should as a writer.
Same.
So
Yep.
honestly, I just kind of have a big backlog that I'm still working through, and I don't really get bought books for Christmas because they most of my family knows I don't read very much. I kind of just I write. But a couple months ago, I got myself a box set collection of the Harry Potter series, which I haven't read yet, so I'll be reading through that. It wasn't exactly for Christmas, but it was kind of a gift to myself because I've wanted to read those books for a couple of years now.
Did you watch? You saw the movies, but you didn't read the books.
Nope.
You haven't seen the movies.
I have basically seen nothing, like except for like a few, like a handful of memes about the IP. I haven't nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, read the books first.
Yeah, I plan to. So.
I only watched the movies. I haven't read the books. I read like half of the first one. I can see there's a lot more in the books, but
well, what's crazy to me is I've heard that there's in the last book, The Memory of Light for the Wheel of Time, there's a chapter called The Last Battle that the single chapter is as long as the Sorcerer's Stone. So and like I've read the whole Wheel of Time series, and so I figure if I can get through that, I can get through Harry Potter.
absolutely.
Easily, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great read. It's where it falls apart is the movies.
Yeah.
Because they were made. The movies were made for 10-year-olds. You know,
I mean,
so
aren't the books considered middle grade?
They are, but I mean, I don't know why.
They start off that way, but they kind of age with the.
Yeah, they get pretty dark.
Yeah.
Well, the age with the audience was the idea.
Right, and the movies miss out on a lot of really good content from the books, you know, because they're just hitting on the kind of highlight stuff that kids will like, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
I just bought the audio.
We watched 3 of them this morning, so
they just released an audiobook where the actors in the movie are reading their parts, so I got that.
Yep.
So I've seen ads for that audiobook, but they don't have one of the ones isn't the actor from the movie, it's the actor from like the show.
Well, a lot of them aren't because a lot of the actors for the movies are dead.
Oh, well, that's fair.
I'm thinking of just the kids, just the students.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay.
Because in the first scene of the first movie, we were watching it today, it's like Professor Dumbledore, the first Professor Dumbledore is there, and it's like, oh, he's dead. And then McGonagall shows up. Oh, she's dead. And then Hagrid shows up. He's dead. So like, there's 3 people in this show right now, and they're all, you know. And then, you know, Snape is gone, and there's like a ton of people from that series who have since died. So it's a great drinking game if you're into that kind of thing.
Oh, okay. So, Jay, I'm going to ask you about what books you've got, but first, the Emu War, is it going to come out on audiobook anytime soon?
I want to. The problem I'm having is with Australia, we don't have what's that Amazon one that everyone uses?
ACX. Yeah.
Not available in Australia, so I can't do that at all. So I want to. I started, you know, doing it chapter by chapter, but then I kind of got distracted with what I'm working on at the moment, you know, story ideas and stuff. But it's definitely I'm going to do it before I die.
So
Maybe.
you're narrating it yourself.
Yeah,
You're
Jay,
narrating
yourself.
Jay,
I wanted-
what's your market for your book? Is it the United States or is it Australia?
Everywhere.
Okay. So any Australian or New Zealander or Englishman or woman, you know what I mean, can read a book themselves and Americans will love it.
Yeah.
You may not think you have the voice for it, but for the American market, you're golden.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
No, well, I did have the idea of because there's so many characters in it. I'd love to have different people doing it. That was what I was going to do, and I probably still will do it. I just got to find the motivation and the time to get it going.
Jay,
I got to tell you, I did that with a short story. Hired people and had friends do different voices. Like I thought it made sense to have the male voice be a guy and the female voice be a girl. And it is a nightmare in editing to try to get all that to come together. And somewhere on YouTube is a little short video where I just put it up to see what people thought of it. And the feedback was that, very, very not good. It was a nightmare. It took a lot of time. The multi-voice thing is on surface a fantastic idea, but don't go into it blind. It'll make the job 3-4 times harder than reading it yourself. I mean, the thing about my books, things I'll may as well show it up. It's just letters, so it's each character reads a letter. They're writing a letter to someone, so they're all. It's not like, and then he said, blah, 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 blah. It's just like it's literally like a letter. So each chapter would be a letter. So that it will work. A lot of people want it. Cool.
But like I said, the world's got something against Australia.
Oh, not that I know of. I think, at least in Kentucky, Australia is an exotic, wonderful magic land.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't know a country I don't care for. Even if you think you don't like them, you don't really know them. You just know, government propaganda. So I don't swallow crap, But Australia, man, with all the animals and everything. The only thing is, I think it would be scary. You have a lot of critters that can kill a man. That's scary.
I mean, I'm alive. I'm alive. I think we realized that it's only tourists that the animals kill.
Some goofy guy from Kentucky like myself, I wouldn't last 10 minutes. I'd be like, oops.
Yeah. No, I always say just don't go north. The hotter it gets, the more deadly things are.
Is that true? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, up north, you got the cassowaries, you got the crocodiles. We got crocodiles that come out on a beach at night, and there's a sign that literally says, "Do not go on the beach at night," because people have gone up there to sit on a log, and then the log's moved.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
It's got, and the inland taipan, which will kill you in 30 seconds after biting you.
What is it? An insect?
The inland taipan, it's a snake.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
And
then what about
you check? There's some videos because this happened when someone was driving their car and they got halfway. I think they got an hour up the freeway, and a snake just crawled out of the bonnet, started wrapping itself around the side mirror and tapping on the window.
And what about the spider that can do a web underwater, and if it bites you, you're dead?
Oh, there's a lot of spiders.
A giant spider, like bigger than your hand.
Yeah, see, the one that you always see, there's a famous photo of Chris Hemsworth putting his hand next to a spider. Those spiders are called the huntsman, and they are harmless. They're just scary.
No,
if I ever had a spider like that in my house, I would have to burn the son of a bitch down.
And then it would still live.
I mean, the house. I'm not talking, it's like I'm never living in it again.
Yeah.
Harmless or not, I'm not sharing space with a spider that big.
Yeah, well, I had they got the funnel web, which is probably one of the most deadly ones, but they mainly live in the ground. They only come out to, get freaky with other spiders. One crawled under my cot when I was a baby, so that was fun. Yeah.
Okay. But we had this show before, Ro, where you start doing stats and found out that more people die of animals in North America than in Australia. So
North Americans are stupid, though. Generally speaking, I think it's kind of our fault. It's not really the animal.
It could also be like a population density thing. There's just more people here than there are.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
ladders and bathtubs kill a lot more people in the United States than animals do in Australia.
Right.
I heard that like vending machines was of 1 year. It was like the most things that killed people. Like people, like, it's literally a thing. I heard that somewhere.
They're pretty consistently more deadly than like sharks, for example.
Yeah, I
Like,
think that's what it was.
Everyone's terrified of sharks, but in fact, a vending machine is more likely to kill you, statistically speaking.
Well, cows kill a lot more people than sharks.
How?
Cows and fish.
Cows,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like how do you mean like bulls?
Yeah.
Just cows,
Or yeah.
not necessarily
How
bulls.
does a person by somebody hitting them with their car?
No kicks.
There's that and being kicked, and
Yeah.
you've seen pictures of. There was a video on I don't know, one of the damn things I was watching this week, and having been in Alaska for a few years, these people were trying to go say hello to a moose, right? And that's just a ticket to the ever after, if
Yeah.
ever because a moose are really short sighted, and they will stomp you until you are a bloody pulp, right? So
True.
yeah, people are just dumb. You see them in Yellowstone. It's like, oh, a bison. I'm going to go pet the bison. Yeah, you'll do
The
it
fluffy
once.
fluffy cows, yeah.
Yeah, you'll do it once.
So I got to take my brother Tom when he was in high school, and we went to Catholic school, so of course he was drunk every weekend. But he and his friends said, "You know what? Let's go cow tipping because this sounds like a crazy good time." And that's when he learned that cows kick sideways because he had this big old knot on his shin from the cow kicking him sideways, and the only one who fell down was him, and he's probably lucky that he gave up as soon as he did. So yeah.
Yeah, people are stupid. Especially Americans.
Yeah.
I don't know what's wrong with us.
Well, yeah, a lot.
I was going to say, I can't wait for the defense. Come on, bring it.
Well, you see, here's the thing, right? With liberty comes stupidity. I think it's kind of a correlation thing. Like the more liberty we have, the more liberty we have to be stupid. And
Yeah,
like,
you're
I'm
allowed.
talking
You're allowed
really
to do
stupid.
stupid things.
Exactly.
Darwinism is a beautiful thing.
Yeah, it's natural selection at that point. Like it gets rid of. Cause it's like, could you
Then
imagine
wouldn't
if,
you?
like, can you
wouldn't you-
imagine if we couldn't die and we still had all the Americans we had? Like we'd be even stupider than we are.
Yeah.
Like people who get knocked out for a reason. That's my philosophy. That's my.
But then the population would get, more intelligent over time, wouldn't it? After all the dumb people die off.
You would think so.
No, but that's the thing, right? Technically, we have, right? Because if you look at like an intellectual from the 1700s versus an intellectual from today, the intellectual from today is going to be much, much smarter than the intellectual from the 1700s, purely because of the amount of knowledge we have.
Yeah.
The amount of access to knowledge we have. And so, yes, while basically it's kind of like a horseshoe thing.
Yeah.
Both ends of the horseshoe have gotten longer and bigger, but that middle has kind of stayed the same. So that like there's more dumb people, but there's also more smart people. Thankfully, it kind of balances out.
Well, it's like that line from Men in Black, right? It's like a person is smart, but people are stupid.
Yes,
Right?
exactly. Yeah.
Anyway,
So Palmer, are you going to be at Worldcon next year?
In LA, yes. Actually, it's in Anaheim, where like Disney is. Yeah, and I'm gonna run the Freebies Lounge again. So, and Sheriff Joe is gonna volunteer with me,
Awesome.
as well as Sarah. She was there for a couple days. And so, when you change your mind, you have a spot to hang out, Mike.
I will not be making it to Anaheim next year, but Montreal in 2027. I'm looking for that, and then Brisbane in 2028.
Brisbane.
really, you're going to go to Brisbane?
I'll be retired then, so
Oh, that's right. You lucky dog.
And that's
So-
your Brisbane, not my Brisbane.
No, that's your Brisbane, Jay.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, you're coming to our shores.
There's
Yes.
another one?
I'm sure there is. But
Yeah, probably.
so, how far away are you from Brisbane? Because I'm going to pretend nod and act like I know after you tell me.
Oh, I think It'd be a couple of hours. It'd be like a 3-hour flight or something, I'm guessing, but like maybe a 2-day drive.
Okay, so we're not going to stay at your place then, is what you're telling us.
No.
Okay.
So speaking of Worldcon, I'm curious because I've only heard of Worldcon in the past like 3 months, despite being a fantasy lover and writer for many years. So what is Worldcon, and like what opportunities are there for like an indie writer coming up in the scene?
So I went this year for the first time. That's where they vote on the Nebula. So I actually got to vote on the Nebula Awards, which is insane. But a lot of people had tables, and you can sell your books there. I did not. I just went because been hanging out for a couple of years on Twitter, and I knew 30 to 40 different people who were all going to Worldcon. So it was just like meetup of people who you only knew online. I volunteered at the Freebie Lounge. I worked for Palmer because last thing I wanted to do is be a roving band of authors going from panel to panel. So I decided just to work at the Freebie Lounge and take it easy. But it's a great place to meet. If you wanted to meet, George R. Martin was there. He was on a panel. So was Brandon Sanderson, Robin Hobb. I've never been big on, autographs or meeting a person. Okay, so what, if I'm not going to know them and talk to them, then what's the point of shaking someone's hand that you'll never meet again or know anything about? So I don't care about that. But there were a ton of people who I got to meet. Joe Byrne, if he's still in the comments, he was there. He and Andy Witham, if you put those together, they are lethal with their sense of humor. You will laugh so hard you will struggle to breathe. Highly recommend it. Let's see. But other than meeting with other people, having fun, enjoying books because it is all books all the time. I mean, you could sell your books there. Some authors did really well. Some people did not. It's based on how well you are engaging with the crowd. So it's definitely something to see. I'm glad I went. I did not sell anything. I did not make any money. I only spent money, but I enjoyed it. I'm not going to go to Anaheim. Sorry, Palmer, but it's in Montreal in 2027. So I'm going to try to go there. And then since I will be retired, I want to go to Brisbane in 2028 because I'd love to see the Land Down Under. And, I'm not getting younger.
Wait a minute. The Land Down Under, they're doing something with that on Stranger Things, right?
The Upside Down.
It's Upside Down, yeah.
It's just as deadly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, pretty much the same thing, right? Just the aesthetics are a bit different, that's all.
The beer is better in Australia.
Oh, fair.
Is there more beer than Foster's? Or do you need more beer than Foster's?
Well, apparently Foster's is horrible. Like, it's like the worst beer you could ever have.
That tracks. That's why it's here in the U.S. I mean, it has to compete against Budweiser, so yeah. It's a low bar.
Yeah.
So
Jay, anyway, did you tell us what books you've got?
No. I didn't get any this year. I rarely ever get them. But I bought some indie books for my niece and brother-in-law. So I gave my niece Song of Bones by Isaac Anderson.
Nice.
And I gave my brother-in-law, because he was looking for some decent fantasy, I gave him Tim McKay's The Fall of Sylvandria, however you pronounce it. So I've been getting them out.
To you fellas that don't get a lot of books, I've got to make a couple suggestions because I think you would love them. Pick up anything by Janelle Sheikey, Steve Starr, and Molly McCobb. I've read all their works, and man, they're some of the best stories I've ever read. They're all indie authors and some fantastic storytelling. So, pick up work by any one of them, and I think you'll really enjoy it. And they have nothing to do with my press. They're real indie writers doing it all themselves, and they're kicking butt. They're doing good. They really are.
And to add to that, there's this guy named Rosaire Bushy who's also very, very good. You should check that out. Yeah.
Does he have books at all?
Yeah, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
Does he have a purple dragon in his background?
He does is blue, but yeah,
It looks purple from here.
that's fine.
It's the dragon, purple or blue. It's like that dress.
That's
No,
right. Yeah, that's right.
Well, it's really a T-Rex with a goatee.
Stop it.
Hey,
It's so
I don't see any
true.
wings. I don't see any wings. So
So Ro, is your new book a standalone or a first book of a series?
It's a standalone. I mean, there will be more books featuring those characters in that world, but I didn't make it necessarily a series, so you'll be able to kind of jump in, jump out.
Yeah, I bought it. It's fantasy, right? It's
Yeah.
in my stack
Yep.
for 2026. So are you gonna? Yeah, you're gonna submit it to Spiffball?
I'm going to try whenever that comes out, and if I can, be the lucky. But my luck as far as drawings go is historically abysmal.
It's
So,
January 3rd, UK time for 24 hours. Don't miss it. It's
okay.
just a
Yeah, I
24-hour
will.
window.
I will
Oh,
be on
wow.
it. And we'll see if I get picked.
Yeah, I submitted Darktown last year. It didn't get picked. I'm going to submit it again.
I'm assuming there's a big list of things you have to. Do they give you the list ahead of time of all the stuff you have to have ready?
Yeah, I
Just-
mean, no,
Guess
not
it's not as
really.
bad now.
You put in your name and the page count, I think, or word count, and then the links to your social media. That's about it. It's like not that hard. It used to be when it was like first come first serve. Like I'd wake up at like 4 a.m. because it was UK time, and then I'd like be in a panic. I remember the last time it was not a lottery, which was 2 years ago. I was in a big panic because it asked for all these links that I didn't have ready. And I was panicked, and it took me like 5 minutes, and I was panicked, and I got in, but it shut down in like
41 minutes.
31 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's craziness.
Yeah, because I
wonder if they're gonna. So I was thinking, okay, what if I keep submitting Darktown for like 5 years? Are they gonna do some weighted thing? Like they should, like for every year you've submitted, you should get like an extra. They should put you in twice, or they should
Right.
should make it after 3 tries, you're automatically in or something. I don't know, because you could be trying forever,
Mm.
I don't know.
Yeah, I was in the same year you were with Heliotrope, and the night before they released here's the form that you have to fill out. So I had everything in a Word document, and
Oh,
I
yeah?
cut and paste. I put it in under 60 seconds. I'd submit it, and I was still like number 16 to have submitted my application. So, yeah, it was kind of nuts. And after that, they're like, okay, we're going to do 24 hours and then do a drawing because, it was 8 a.m. for me, but yeah, that means it's 5 a.m. for you, Palmer, and God only knows where you were if you're, elsewhere in the world. I mean, are you really going to get up at 3 a.m. to do this and then, So,
And
I mean,
last year, didn't they? Sorry, Mike. Didn't they pick like about half the people last year?
Yeah, last year there's like 590 some odd people entered, and they
Right.
just did a random drawing, and half got in and half did not.
As this thing grows, you're probably looking at less and less chance of actually making that drawing if they keep the same number of entries, but there's probably going to be a lot more people entering more books, right? I mean, because as people over the couple of years, you're going to have 2 or 3 books that can.
But you can only enter one. You can only enter one.
And, you can only enter one. Okay, but still, there's more people writing, right?
SFF insiders. Well, more people hear about it as it becomes more like influential.
Yeah, I don't mind the drawing system. I just know my history with drawings of any sort is not what one would want it to be.
That means you're due to win. So
yeah, I'm 57. I'm well past due, and it's still not happening. So
I bought a Powerball lotto. Is that the one that's like at a 1.6 billion or something?
Yeah, it's not anymore. Somebody from Arkansas won.
Oh, they did?
Yep.
Arkansas.
Yep.
Ugh.
Yeah, so now
That
they
was my
can own a
reaction.
third of the state after they get that money.
Right. Go buy Walmart.
Right. The whole state's budget. Yeah. Oh well. It wasn't. I thought I was gonna win. I made my plan already for all of it.
Yep. My wife and I were talking about it driving back from DC. It's like, yeah, this is what we'll do. No, we won't. That's okay.
I don't
Yeah.
mean to be rude at all, but my wifey made me promise that I could do an hour on the show. But with visiting family and everything, we haven't
Oh,
had.
happy wife, happy life, man. You got to go do
Yeah,
that thing.
Yeah.
yeah,
It was
and
interesting hearing about your business and your editing process. That's pretty cool. I agree with you. It's very important.
thank
I hope you
you.
don't stay in the red too long there, Rod.
Typically, in any business, I've owned 5 companies, and in any business, you'll usually be in the red for the first 3 years, and you don't know if you're going to make it until you complete 5 years. And if you look statistically, the majority of small businesses are gone within 5 years. And I have no way of knowing what's going to happen with my company except that I put my heart and soul into it 15 hours a day, 6 days a week. I'm putting everything I can into this business, and I'm getting great people. I released a little thing not long ago. I'll be hiring people all through 2026. Uh, think of any position in a publishing house. I need at least 10 people in each position. So I'm going to be doing a lot of hiring this year because easily my company outgrew me very fast. More than one man can do, you know. So I think the future looks good, but you never know. I just know that I'm going to give it everything I've got. If I fail, it won't be because I didn't try, you know.
Nice.
But
Well, Merry
very,
Christmas.
very,
Yep.
very
Happy
nice.
New Year to you, Rod.
And
And
Mike,
we'll chat with you next year.
yeah, but I can't thank you enough, Mike, for inviting me to pop on. I'm a nobody from Kentucky, and I get to come and speak to all you great people, from all over the place, California, Australia, Arizona, even the fantastic state of Virginia. Wow. And it's just amazing. And thank you, Mike, for letting me come on for a while.
Nope. Thank you, Rod.
Bye-bye, guys, and I hope you have a wonderful night.
See you, Rod.
Take care.
Happy New Year.
So
He didn't have to butter up Virginia. It's not like we're from here.
Yeah.
you guys were talking about I think you guys call it SpiffPo, is that right?
Spiffbo, self-published fantasy blog off. It's a terrible name, but it's the best indie fantasy competition out there.
Okay, so what like what is it? Because it sounds like they pick things out of a lottery. So how is it really a competition? And like what's
So
Yeah.
they accept 300 books, and it's just the more than that. It was hard to get into. Like Mike said, it like they reached 300 after 41 minutes, so they decided to just have people submit, and then they would choose the 300. But the beauty of the contest is that it's judged by a bunch of bloggers, and sometimes teams of bloggers. And so they're naturally creating content. They're reviewing your books and they're putting it out there. And a lot of these blogs have followings. So some like nobody indie author who can't get anybody to read their book, and they're like, their family won't even read it. You get like 2 reviews on Goodreads. If you make it like into the finals, you're immediately like, it just bumps up your visibility. I was a semifinalist twice, and even that like made me like put me on the map of at least having some community of people who read my books and care about my books. Small, but better than just my friends at work, which is all I had before.
Yeah. I think JL Odom was like that. She won this past year, Spitbo 10, and I think she had 20 some odd reviews on her book, and then she ended up winning Spiffbo, and now I don't even know how many hundreds she has reviews, but it was her first book, and she went from literally nobody, no one knew who she was, to now she's in the Tournament of Champions, which I guess is just now ending. And yeah, she's her second book came out, and everybody's like, can't wait to read this, and putting it on their TBRs as soon as it comes out.
Sword of Kaigen, she won 5 years ago or whatever, and she's got a trad deal now. She got picked up. A lot of the trad companies, they troll the contest, and it's like a filtering house. It's like an agenting for them. They just look at the ones, and they picked a couple of Spiffbo entrants have gotten deals.
Yep.
So yeah, did you have a book, AB Timothy?
I'm not. Wow,
You're not an
almost
author?
English. No, I am an author. I'm not published yet. Um, I'm looking to publish my first fantasy novel in May 26, and then from there I plan to have, a whole bunch of books come out, one right after the other. I'm hoping to do 2 a year, but I'm ambitious. I'm young. I have lofty goals, so we'll see how much that pans out.
Yeah, so you can enter a standalone or the first book in a series. So
Okay.
yeah, and SFF Insiders is given more info here. Yeah, Mark Lawrence is a published author who started it, and he's very much involved. Unlike the cousin contest for science fiction, which, but Spitfo has 10 years to have gained, built a community. The Sphinx or whatever they're called, self-published science fiction one.
Yeah.
That was nominally started by Hugh Howey, but he's not involved as far as I know. There's another author who kind of runs it, but it just hasn't gotten the same traction. But like I said, it's new. So I think it's good they're doing that.
Palmer, do you know Mark?
I know, yes. I mean, yeah, I've interacted with him. I met him in person at Worldcon in Scotland briefly, like for 2 minutes, because I was giving out Spiffbo ribbons. I made ribbons that at conventions, they have these ribbons you stick on your badges. So I had made Spiffbo ribbons. So he came looking for me to get a Spiffbo ribbon, and so I met him. But I made the seals, the award banners. So I interact with him for that reason.
Yeah, we need to. Mike and I have been wanting to get him on the show for a while now, but
I mean, you could reach out and ask him. I don't know. I don't know if I haven't seen him do anything like that, and I don't know if he does or not or would. I don't know. I mean, you can just DM him on X. He's on Twitter, or he's got a Facebook group. He runs the Facebook group. You could DM him on Facebook and ask him. I don't know. He didn't go to conventions for a long time. He has like a disabled daughter that prevented him from traveling, but she's older now. So now he says he's traveling more, like within the UK. So he's had kind of limited, I don't know. I haven't seen him. The thing about what I've noticed with trad authors, like, and I'm not saying this is Mark, but like their publishing houses have them do activities, and they keep them busy, like reading other people's books within the imprint and leaving reviews, pre-release reviews. And so I don't know I don't think I've ever seen him on a video interview.
I had reached out to him probably a year and a half ago now, Ro, but he had begged off at the time. So
yeah, I mean, I know we had, but that's
he
before.
didn't know.
I don't know him well enough. Like he wouldn't do it for me or anything. And I don't. Yeah. So no, he probably wouldn't. I don't think he's kind of shy, and
Yeah, that's fine. See how it is. That's
okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen him anywhere, so it's nothing personal.
Wait until Mike and I start our big contest to rival that.
Yeah, we'd have to read books for that, so that's never going to happen. We'd have
We're
to
not
have
really organized enough to do something like that.
Our competition would have to be 10 people, and it would still take a year for us to read the 10 books.
Right.
You see, SFF Insiders just commented saying that most authors are a little shy. I personally reject that because I am a very extroverted person. Part of that is because I love telling stories so much. And so telling stories became writing. And so I love being on shows. I love talking to people. I love going places, doing things in the real world with my books. And I know that's I have noticed though, you're right, I guess, in that you saying most, the qualifier most is very true.
I did a poll on Twitter
just
to see what authors would respond. I was like very extroverted, somewhat extroverted, knew both, kind of in the middle, and then very introverted. And like 85% were in the bottom 3 of the introverted, or like and 15% were in the extrovert category. So you'll have people like you or like JC and Byrne who like very extroverted people, but yeah, it's mostly geeky kind of, special,
Al,
special people.
I used to be very extroverted too until I started meeting a lot of people.
We get back to our other theme about how people suck.
Oh no! Trust me, people definitely suck. I'm like I'm like a lost puppy. Like the more you kick me, the more you shoo me away. I'm like, no, please, like I'm yours now. You have to take care of me. You have to take. Not really. I don't know. It's funny, but I do like talking to people and doing things. So.
Yeah, but you have to be extroverted enough to actually go to the con bar.
Yeah.
I went one night because I promised like 6 different people that I would go at least once, and so the last night I was there, I was like, I have to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, I don't drink, so it's hard for me to be an extrovert because a lot of extroverted activities are not straight edge. So, but it's at the convention we have here in Tucson. There's a little like snack area where you can go and hang out with other fantasy people, like sci-fi writers and readers and stuff. And that was, for me, that was a blast. Like I spent when I wasn't in a panel and I wasn't playing D&D, like I was in that room talking with people, trying to network and stuff.
Are you talking about, where was that?
It was in Tucson, Arizona. It's this Tucson Science Fiction Fantasy Convention. It's called TusCon.
Okay.
But yeah, they have a little snack area that I got to hang out and talk and meet people, and it was a good time.
Well, they say like Dragon Con in Atlanta. I've never been, but a bunch of authors go and they just like hang out at the bar the entire time, and they're all on panels. And when they're not on panels,
that would be Joe Byrne.
Well, bars are that's the spiritual home of writers.
Yeah, but you don't have to drink alcohol to hang out at a bar. You could drink anything.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like optics for me. I don't know. I mean, I shouldn't be afraid of going to a bar. Like I'm not, because I know myself, and I know that I would never drink. But I would hate for like people to start rumors or something. Try to get them out. Because like I'm always worried about optics. Because you have to like
don't dance on the tables and keep your clothes on.
People, I don't think people are judgmental like that.
Look, just buy one.
Notice people are very self-absorbed. They're thinking about themselves. They're not thinking, oh, look, A.B. Timothy is drinking like ginger ale. Like nobody cares.
I used to play in a band for like 20 years. I used to play music, and all my friends drank. I didn't drink, and then all I'd say is, "Oh, I'm just designated driver."
Yeah,
that'd be it.
I'm lucky enough to be raised as a Christian and stuff. So a lot of my real life friends are pretty straight edge like me. So I don't have to worry about babysitting any of my friends, which is nice. But yeah, no, it's I wouldn't have a problem going to a bar. It's just, I don't know. It's always been kind of a gray area for me, and I try to tend. I like to tend on the side of good optics as opposed to bad.
Yeah.
So.
Well, a lot of these hotel bars are also like pubs. Like people go there to eat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not strictly like just alcohol. It's people are eating hamburgers and whatever.
The bars have changed a lot in the last 30 years. I mean,
true.
The little dark kind of hole in the wall where you go and sit there with a pitcher of beer by yourself and just kind of people watch. Those don't exist a lot anymore, right? They're certainly not the norm. Bars now are much more kind of diverse and friendly to drinkers, non-drinkers, food, all that kind of thing. Yeah. But you said designated driver. That's the best gig going, really, because you get invited to all the stuff, right?
Yeah.
As a designated driver, everybody wants you there.
Yeah.
And you get to hear all the stuff.
Yeah.
As a designated
so
driver,
funny.
And you have you have that. Hey, remember when you don't? Well, I got the pictures.
But then you also have to deal with drunk people, which gets very annoying.
Yeah,
it does. Just make sure they puke outside the car.
Depends how drunk they are. I have a friend who gets so like helpful when he gets to a certain amount of drinks. Like he wants to do everything for you. It's just like, what can I do? You know.
That's better than a belligerent drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Those are the worst.
Yeah.
You guys with me? Hell no. You're on your own, man.
Hey, Book Hermit.
Hey, lovely people. I too am going to bow out of this.
Yeah,
Mike, Mike, when am I back for this? New Year?
New
We got, like, a
Year
week?
sometime.
Okay, cool. I'll look it up. We'll figure it out.
We'll probably have a New Year's Eve hangout show just because
Yeah.
I'm not going to
All right.
go outside after dark on New Year's. So
I'll see it happening.
So probably
All right.
that. But yeah.
Cool.
All right. Well,
too.
Merry Christmas to everybody. For those of you who are joining us in the chat, thank you very much. I will leave you in Mike's capable hands and say cheers.
Oh, that's scary.
Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm dropping too.
Merry Christmas.
Thanks
Okay.
for the
See you,
invite.
Palmer.
Switch around.
See ya.
See ya.
How do I leave?
It's
The
red
little red button at the bottom.
Okay. Okay, leave studio.
You're here forever. You're here forever.
button.
You cannot leave. It is Hotel California.
Mike has locked the door. See ya.
And then there were three. So
Okay.
you guys are both published, right?
Yep.
Cool. So I want to like pick your brains a little bit because I'm still working towards that goal. So did you hire professional editors or were you more like the beta reader?
So if you were to read my unedited stuff, you would swear that I am not even monolingual. So I must have editors. Actually, Ro is my line editor. And then I have this horrible thing of afterwards, like, I'll just change a few things, but I'll be careful and I won't make any mistakes. And then I have a proofreader, and then I do that same very thing, and then I have people going, hey, did you know? Like, for instance, to my eternal shame, this book, I had the same chapter in there twice in a row.
Oh.
And I published it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Deja vu.
So, yes, editors, they are worth every penny.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm more free range. I'm stupid, but I like because I'm broke as everything as any author is. So I'm learning to do everything as I go. So my books probably get progressively better. I'm definitely finding that now. So what I tend to do now is, and this is definitely what I'm doing because I'm working on something now, and I'd say about halfway through it. But what I plan to do is finish writing it, work on something else, and then come back to it with fresh eyes. So I can,
yeah, definitely.
It is incredible what you can pick up on when you leave something, and then
Go back.
come back to
minimum
it later.
2 weeks. Better a month if you can do it.
Yeah,
or more.
And I have a friend who's an alpha reader who keeps begging me for more. Like, oh, what are you up to? Give me more. And then he goes, oh, spelling mistake, or this, or and it's just super helpful. So that's kind of my thing.
I have a friend who's a super great grammarian, is what I'll call her. I don't know if that's a real word or not, but she literally. This is a pen name, by the way. I'll be transparent there. A.B. Timothy's not my real name, but I know. Calm down. It's okay. But under my real name, I'm writing a family history novel. So it's a historical fiction novel about my family's past. And I have a friend who I gave her the first chapter to like read it over for me as a beta reader, and she gave me back. So I think in total, if you printed it out, the chapter was 10 pages long. She gave me 6 pages of handwritten notes. So unironically, I told her, I was like, can I just like hire you as an editor? Because you're really good at this. Because like I'm not even going to debate. Like once I implemented the stuff that she wrote in her notes, and kind of ignored some things because there's some semantics or whatever. But for the most part, solid, like 95% of what she gave me was solid feedback. About story content, about grammar and punctuation and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, dude, can I just hire you? You're good at this. And she's like, I don't know if I have the time. And she's like, okay, man. But yeah, that's a crazy experience. I thought about doing it like myself, but I'm scared of falling into the dustbin of just like, oh, yep, that's another self-published author who thinks they're all that in a
Yeah.
bag of chips, and it's actually just like one of the worst things you've ever read in the world. It's like, oh no.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can write good stuff though. I promise, guys. Just wait. Just read my first 3 books, and my 4th one's fine. I promise.
Yeah.
So I will tell you one thing that James Maxey, who I've done a number of Comic Cons with, that he does because he edits himself, is he's like, he writes in Microsoft Word. He does a spell checker, and then he takes the whole story and he pastes it into Google Docs, because Google Docs spell checker will catch things that Word will not, and vice versa. So he runs both of them, and that he's like, that catches 98% of everything, and then he does a careful reading, and he is much better at this English language than me. So he can put out top-notch books, and that's his secret. Is he's like, you do Word, then you do Google Docs, then you copy it back into Word because that's what he prefers, and so you can do that too, and you can catch a lot. I mean, you can probably, I know, hot button issue, but you could probably put it like in the Chat GPT and say, do a grammar check. Although then, I'm always would be worried, like, does Chat GPT now have my work always and forever and can make money off? And I'm like, so I don't know if I would do that, but I mean, it's possible. If you don't have the qualms about it, then
The closest I've ever come to AI is Grammarly, Grammarly Assistant. I've never paid for Grammarly, frankly, because everything they've shown me in the paid tier is basically let us write it for you. And I'm like, well, your voice is horrible, number one. My voice is better because it's my story.
Yeah.
So I'm going to, and I've even had that like with Grammarly on several. So Grammarly has a colored system. So they have red underlines, blue underlines, which is normal, but they also have yellow and I think green sometimes. And they have purple if it's both blue and red. So there's weird things going on there. But I've had this several times where it'll underline a blue section. I'll mouse over it to see what was wrong, and I'm like, well, that's like the stupidest edit I've ever heard. Like, what? Okay, you're trying to make me sound like some kind of posh businessman trying to sell a product, when in reality this character is like half drunk arguing with his stepson. Like that's not the same. That voice is just wrong, dude. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So
no, I use the free version of Grammarly. It's pretty good, but like, all that stuff is just like, no, you don't know what I'm trying to do. Go away.
Yep. Yeah.
So I did this recently, and I would recommend that you try it, just because I put in the first chapter of one of my books, and then I said, okay, Chat GPT, write chapter 2. This is what happens, just to see what it would do. And after that, I'm like, oh my God, I do not have to worry about AI written books. There is zero things to worry about. Just do it once, just to see. I mean, by the end, it was just like, go here. Okay, he left. I'm like, just 2-word sentence. I'm like, oh my God, it just made it's terrible. So, everybody who says that, writers will not have jobs because of AI, well, okay, sure.
Yeah.
I will be long dead before that happens.
Real.
That's bad. Yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, so I don't know. I do use ChatGPT for research. I mean, basically what I could use Google for, but it's quicker. Like for the one series that one day I will get around to writing, because I don't need to start a 4th series. It takes place in a medieval port town. And so I was like, okay, ChatGPT, what would be in, what businesses or what, places would be in a medieval port town? It's like, these are all the, port-related duties. Then there's the guilds.
Yeah.
Okay, what are the guilds? And it says, okay, here are the guilds. There's also the craftsmen. Thank you, you idiot. Now, what are the craftsmen? And by the end, I had a list of 38 different occupations that would be in a port town. And that's fine. Then I can choose from there what I want to use. Like, one of them was a rope maker, which never would it occurred to me. I mean, obviously you need them, but, then I dove into it, like their buildings were like, 300 feet long and 20 feet wide, because they just, and I got into kind of a deep dive into how people make rope. And so then I put like in a scene, and it takes up all about half a page in my book. And I spent, a week researching rope making, to have the person sprint down the long axis of the building, and then never again will be mentioned. Yeah,
he built a rope.
I'm working on a fantasy series where the original the original inspiration behind it was I wanted to write the hero's journey because I had never written a strict hero's journey story before. But it eventually became its own big series now that I'm working on like 3 books at least. But so a lot of series, the hero will start as a humble insert thing here, like the humble moisture farmer or the humble blacksmith or sheep herder, whatever. And so I was like, what other kind of humble tasks or humble careers could medieval boys be apprenticing in before they go on their big adventure? I came up with cobbler somehow. And
Nice.
so my guy was a shoemaker, or at least he was apprenticing as a shoemaker before his call to adventure. And so I've watched so many YouTube videos about how people make shoes, and it's endlessly fascinating. But at the end of the day, I'm like, okay, how much of this is actually going to show up in the book? Because usually, like the blacksmith or the moisture farmer or whatever, usually these come up later on in their stories as sort of like some lesson they learn from their beginnings, help them be a better leader or something. So I'm trying to think of like, towards the end of like book 3, what grand lesson could he have learned as a cobbler, which helps him defeat the big bad guy, or helps him inspire the troops? Or I'm just like racking my brain, like where's the adventure in shoemaking? And so
he polishes all the soldiers' boots.
Yes,
he prepares them for war.
The feet, he polishes their boots. Yeah.
Have you seen the Adam Sandler movie called The Cobbler?
I've not. I had no idea there was one. That's cool.
It's one of those, like how Adam Sandler can make a lot of crap movies, but then there's a gem every now and again. That's great. It's a great one.
Okay, good to know.
So, I want to say they're walking on a volcanic field, and everyone's souls are melting except for the cobbler because he came prepared.
Yes, totally. Yeah, there are some ideas for that. So,
or crampons. He puts them on his shoes so he can run on a glacier. All these things that you just don't worry about. Like you're wearing moccasins. It's it's a wet forest. You're slipping all the time. I have all sorts of things. Footwear, very important.
Oh yeah, endlessly important. But yeah.
So Jay, what is your next book coming out?
Mm-hmm.
At this I'm working on my first official fantasy. It's called The Blood Moon Faith. Can you guess what it's about? I'm working on that. I'm about 40,000 words into it, 40,000 words or something. I'm hoping that it's going to be the next one coming out, but it's like I said, once I'm finished, I'm going to give it to some beta readers and I'll start working on my next one. But no real time frame for when anything's coming out yet.
Mm-hmm. So a question for your beta, with your experience in beta readers, is it easier to give them the whole book and just have them comment on the whole book, or did you give them to it chapter at a time?
Well, chapter at a time, I'd say it's an alpha reader, which I've got a mate doing. He's doing it now. But like betas, it's like when you basically think. I think it's like when you think it's finished. So it's kind of like get all the feedback you want first, and then people can hit you up with all the grammar errors and if there's any plot holes, or which I've had a few times. But yeah.
And then what do you use? Do you just like share it with them on Google Docs, or do you do you have a program you run it through?
Yeah, no, I can, because I use Vellum, which can pump it out as a PDF. It can pump it out as a Kindle or anything. So I just say, what do you want? And usually it's a PDF or Kindle format, and they can throw it on their tablet and read it that way.
Cool. I'll have to look into that.
Sorry, guys, I am inviting a new guest onto the show.
The show must go on.
The man, the myth, the legend.
Drum roll, please.
I will give people a hint as to who it is.
Rose, come back.
If you've seen the creature creation, you know that this is the Berserker.
Oh.
and the one and only Bo Kelly says that he will step on for a little bit. So, and I think for my Proxima Station series, I haven't. The first arc is going to be 6 books, well, 6 novellas, and if I do a second arc, I think we're going to introduce a lot of other aliens, and they're going to be creatures that have been created from creature creation because I already have the art. So yeah, so I think the Berserker might make a debut in book 7 or so of Proxima Station.
Awesome.
And I recommend you do it at least once you have a bunch of author friends who is it for Proxima Station. I did my bingo card of people who I put in the book.
That's so awesome.
All these people showed up in the book. I'm taking names for book 3 because they go back to Area 51 for an audit. So if you would like to appear in Area 51 audit, Proxima Station 3, let me know and I can work you in. You'll probably be a soldier at Area 51, but
Cool.
Well, throw me in if you want. No one's ever put me in a book, so
Yeah, I will happily even volunteer as a red shirt. Like if you need some alien guy, or if you need some guy to get blown up by an alien, like I'm there.
he was going to do it anyway.
Fair enough,
So just so you know, when I start writing this, I was like, I'm going to do cozy.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I just can't do cozy.
Mm-hmm.
But the 5 alien species are based on the 5 dogs that I've had, and I'm like, I can't kill my dogs, even fictionally. So it's humorous and it's light. And so who did I pick for the villain of this? Tim Wolf, who writes some pretty dark stuff, and he is the lamest antagonist in my book because he can't do anything because you can't harm anyone. So he's basically just snarky. And he goes by the nickname Timberwolf.
Nice.
Does it start cozy and then just go off the walls, or did you?
Well, I was trying to write cozy, so there's no sex. I was trying for no violence, but I just can't do that. I have to hurt my main character multiple times. Yeah. Never will there be a main character that doesn't have a limb broken at least once. And then there's no cussing at all. Even I was like, you know what? I was like, I have to edit out 2 words. Why don't we just do that? And I had Dewey Conway actually read it. I was like, Dewey, I mean, this is cleaner than PG. I mean, this is like a PG movie, basically. I'm like, what age, would I be okay? Because he's a 5th grade teacher. And he read it. He's like, Mike, 13. That's when they discover Monty Python and think that's the greatest thing in the world. Because that's the level of humor you have here. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Monty Python, 13-year-olds. And I'm like, so I have not progressed past 13. That's good. That's higher than I thought, but
You know what?
So
that's fair.
My
stepdad was that same way. His humor level was like down, like high school at best. Like he was a great dude, very very mature, very like iconic as a male role model. But when it came to his humor, it was just the worst.
Oh, so I would recommend that you read Joe Byrne. What's his first book? I have it. Wait a second. Wistful Ascending. There we go. It's hell when you get old. You can't remember. But you should read Wistful Ascending. It is a fantastic book, and he even puts in lots of puns, and it's still worth reading. I would say because of the puns, it makes it better, but that's me. And so, yeah, Timothy, as I said, there's no one dies on the bingo card, but and the man, the myth, the legend, the Berserker himself is here. Bo!
Merry Christmas.
A lot of books.
I think you should invest in books. I think you're lacking.
Yeah, I got just a couple. I could probably use some more.
That top shelf's looking pretty empty.
Yeah.
That's true.
Unfortunately, that actually isn't anymore. This is actually just a background because my bookcases are in a room behind my office, and I haven't taken an updated photo yet. I am maxed out with my bookcases.
That's the Wheel of Time there on the top right?
Yep, that's Wheel of Time and basically everything else Sanderson below it.
Dude, I love Wheel of Time. Oh, I could like if you've Mike, you were on my podcast, so like I could talk about that for hours, dude. Oh man, that's awesome.
Sorry, I'm on Twitter and here. I'm trying to multitask, and it's not going well.
It's difficult. It's difficult.
So, Bo, I don't know if you heard, but if I get to book 7 of Proxima and I start the new arc, I think the Berserker is going to make an appearance.
Oh no, dear Lord! Do what you got to do, Mike. There's actually, from what I've been told, there's 2 or 3 other books where he also might make an appearance. From what I've been getting told, so
Nice.
what you started that day is just keeps trickling out.
That's excellent. I don't know if Kristen is still here, but thank you, Kristen. You really spearheaded that. Let's see. So, Bo, have you compiled your list of best reads of the year?
No, because I hardly read anything this year. With everything else going on in my personal life, I didn't get a whole lot read, so it would be too exciting this time.
I made the mistake. I put out my top 10 reads, and then I started The Bloodstones by Tori Tecton. I'm like, well, do I put out my top 11? Because this is definitely going to be on that list.
Tweet.
Yeah, so don't put out your top 10 list too early. That's what I learned.
Or stop reading.
There's still a few days left in the year.
It's bold of you to assume that we've read 10 books this year.
So I have actually started over like 75 or so, and I finished 37. So, yeah, I am a DNF specialist.
I would definitely like to read at least 6 or 7 books next year. So.
Yeah, I need to pick my speed up next year. I got way too many. I'm way too behind on stuff that I need to get read, but thankfully. Life is slowing back down to normal levels now, so I should hopefully be able to do much better in 2026.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know, Jay, if you found this out or not, or found this to be true or not, but for me, when I'm writing fantasy, I cannot read fantasy because I'm just afraid that I'm going to steal ideas subconsciously. So I read sci-fi, and I've been in a sci-fi hunt for now like a year and a half, so I've only been reading fantasy. And I'm afraid to read sci-fi because I'm just afraid it's going. I'm like, no, I don't want to be stealing people's ideas. So So I always have to read opposite genre of what I'm writing. Do you have that with you, or are you, functioning adult?
I don't read that much, and I would have that problem because right now, I started watching an old TV show called Falling Skies, which is Alien Invasion. I'm realizing how much inspiration I pulled from that for my Ancora series. So I'm writing a fantasy while thinking of my next project. The only way I could make fantasy work for me, because I always wanted to write it. I've got like 2 or 3 manuscripts which are like 20,000 words of me trying to do it and going, this is crap, I give up. But then I thought, I think I watched all the John Wick movies and I was going like, wouldn't it be cool to do like a John Wick style fantasy? And now doing sort of that sort of thing. But
so the one saving grace for me is that I'm old. So Proxima Station is, I just keep like, oh my God, I totally stole that from Babylon 5. I totally stole that from Farscape. Yeah. So basically it's a mashup of those 2 shows. And I'm like, that's okay, because they both came out in the 90s, and young kids like AB here are going to be like, who even watched that? That was in the 3x4, not even the 9x16. So I'm not going to watch that.
You said Babylon 5, didn't you?
Yeah.
I've heard of Babylon 5. Give me some credit.
Have you seen it though?
Hey, let's not get into the semantics of things, right?
It's older than you.
It's not as good as Babylon 4.
True, but that's not very hard either. That's not.
And I was probably your age when I watched it for the first time.
That's impressive.
Come on, Mike. The retro's popular right now. Everybody's going back to the old school stuff.
Oh my God! You were born this century. Oh,
yeah, it was. See, the thing is, I want to be published before I'm 25 years old, just because I feel like being published young gives me the best shot and the most time to grow an audience. No offense, but like some people who start older, they only have a couple years to get it going before they, start slowing down, if you will.
Well, let me adjust my teeth here. I published my first book at 50.
Just chuck your dentures at him.
I tell people all the time, at one of the Comic Cons I was at, girl bought the book, and she's in her 20s, but girl because I'm old. And so I signed it, and she took the book. She goes, "Oh my God, I always wanted an autograph from somebody who writes in squiggles."
What? Wait, no, I can write cursive.
Every so often at Comic Cons, I will ask people that who are in their 20s, I'm like, "Can you write cursive?" And some people are like, "Why would I learn that?" And others are like, "Of course." And it's like 70-30 people can write cursive, but it's not going to get more popular.
Well, as for me and my house, we will write in God's cursive.
I remember in school, I got from primary school to high school, and I learned cursive at the end of primary school, and then I got to high school, and they said, now you can write in cursive, or you can just print. And I go, print.
Oh, I used to print in school because no one could read my cursive except for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I have a tweet, like one of the first tweets I ever put out when I started rebuilding my X account was, if you can't write in cursive, work on it. I promise it'll be worth your time, and it will probably raise your IQ. Not even kidding. Because just the act alone of forcing yourself to learn a new skill makes you a better person objectively. Yeah. So do it. Like if you're listening to this podcast and you can't write cursive right now, just stop listening to this podcast and go listen.
No, don't stop. Wait until it's over and then start. Like and subscribe if you're going to leave at least.
Like and subscribe. Finish this podcast and then
Thank you.
Cursive podcast.
Oh God, there probably are cursive podcasts, aren't there?
There probably are.
Probably.
There's podcasts for almost everything. Also,
kids hardly write in school now anymore. Everything's digital.
Well, yeah, that's true. Well, but the thing is, as someone who wants to be an English teacher at some point in his life, I plan to have most of my students write their essays in class with a pencil. Just because I will accept nothing AI. Like if there's any potential that you might have used AI or any inkling that you did, F0. Just it's not acceptable. Especially in English classes today, especially we have to be hardline on this because if we don't, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose the battle unless we fight tooth and nail.
Yeah, I think you might have a hard time with that one. I think the school districts themselves are going to have say of whether you can make them do it on pen and paper or whether they can use the school issued laptop, iPad, etc., whatever they're given for that stuff. Just because they scan all that stuff too.
Yeah,
I just looked it up. There is a podcast called School of School. It's about cursive.
Oh God!
Well, let's go. That's what I'm talking about.
Just podcast for everything.
So Ryan Patrick, he put a tweet out. It's probably a couple months ago now, but I still thought it was hysterical. They were interviewing a person for a job. He's an aerospace engineer, and so he would ask the question, and he would type it into Chat GPT, and then the person on the other end would recite those words exactly because she had put the same question in the Chat GPT, and he's like, "I'm reading every answer in real time." She's reading straight from her screen, and so am I. And I was like, so it's like, yeah, she did not get a second interview because does she even know engineering? Who knows? So I got a kick out of that. I was like, okay, yeah, rockets, you may want to make sure you know the math. Just saying.
Yeah, well, I mean, unless somehow schools start implementing serious restrictions on AI usage and like monitoring programs on the laptops or whatever. I don't know. I'll because I'm in Arizona, so I would happily talk to my superintendent in the district about getting the permission for that for my class because it's so important. It's vital. I could rant about it for hours, but it would all boil down to just saying it's vital that our students know how to communicate. Because if you don't know how to communicate, everything else just falls apart.
So, AB, let me ask you this. Were you able to use a calculator in school?
Not until geometry.
Because when I was in school, that was a absolutely not. You could use it well for science, but definitely never ever for math.
Hmm.
And now, I mean, do people even learn their times tables anymore? I mean, I know them because I'm old. Um,
Hmm. Well, I'm also I'm already a teacher. Well, technically I'm called a tutor. I'm not like a certified teacher, but I'm a math tutor for a school in my town with well, at least I was. So I'm working on. I don't know. It's a bunch of complicated background context, but basically I have worked with students who are a bit mentally slower, and one thing that I've done with them is I've gone back to basics with, and one of my kids keeps trying to like pull out his phone and use a calculator, and I'm like, no, put it away. And English, I am working in that situation in a private school, so I know the principal like on a personal level, and the principal is just like, yeah, teach them, just like help them understand the material, do whatever you have to do. And I'm like, cool. So put that phone away, or else if I see it again, I'm taking it. Like you're not gonna use calculators for this because the thing is they're in their 20s and I'm teaching them second grade material. So I'm like, you're no, like, sorry, your brain is big enough. I promise, your brain is big enough to figure out what 2 + 2 is right here.
yeah.
I think that's fair for that scenario, but I'd also argue that, just to play devil's advocate, is that think about how much we learned in school and how much you actually use some of that stuff in day-to-day everyday life.
Yeah.
You're not gonna do times tables in your everyday life. You're more than likely gonna grab a calculator. Like, you got to figure out the tip, or you're splitting something. People are gonna go to an app that makes it easy for them. They're gonna default to that stuff, whether it's right or wrong. They're gonna use technology to make their lives easier. I don't see that ever going away.
Right.
I don't think that should be a hindrance. If somebody can prove that they can do the work once they show they can, to hold them back from it just because they want to take an easier route can be just as frustrating. And the reason I say this is, like, I remember in high school when I was in algebra and I had an instructor or teacher that try to say that I couldn't use my graphing calculator because I was cheating. Because first he was like, well, you can't use this because now we need to show work. So I was like, okay, well then I programmed my calculator. Now, mind you, I wrote the code to tell my calculator to do the work and then read it so it would show out the work so I could copy everything down, because I didn't want to sit and just work my time through it. Other stuff I wanted to do. So I proved that I not only had the knowledge to do the math, I had the knowledge to write a program to make it easier for my life, and then put that onto a calculator. And so that went to our school board. It actually went to it, and the conclusion was that they're like, well, let's have you go in front of the class with the teacher, with the principal, and let's see if you can compete against your instructor and if you can prove that you truly have the knowledge. Not only did I prove in class that I could do the math, I did it faster than the person teaching the class. So at that point, do I still need to actually waste my time doing physically writing stuff out, or is there justification to use a calculator to make my life easier?
Okay,
Like, that's where those things where they teaching people fundamentals, but then hindering on you have to have those fundamentals all the time, I think is counterintuitive to what they're going to do when they get out of school. And really, they should be preparing you for what life is like outside of school, not for the years that you're within class.
I agree, but I do like what Brian just said. It's a tool, not a crutch. But also, math is a very different realm than English, and so there are times in math that I would agree. I think calculator restrictions go too far. Like my high school math students that I tutor, once they get out of algebra, I actually actively encourage them to use a calculator, because stuff just takes too long, and they're paying good money to sit there on my Zoom call and have me tutor them, and way too much money, frankly, for us to sit here while they struggle for 15 minutes trying to do it by pen. Just put it in your calculator. You've proven to me in algebra that you know the basics of PEMDAS. That's enough for me. But for English, the other realm, in the realm of writers, which is kind of what we are, most of us here, it's more important to me that you know how to communicate with other people, written and over text, than it is that you know the material or that you have memorized dates and locations or whatever. Because just plugging things into AI, which is basically the English version of a calculator in some aspects, that doesn't prove to me that you know how to communicate. you being able to tell a computer, okay, write me an essay about Edgar Allan Poe, does not prove to me that you know who Edgar Allan Poe was and can talk about his poetry, because that's what matters, is that you can talk about the beauty of the Raven and discuss these themes and actually hold a conversation. That way, when you get out into the real world, like it's a being able to communicate and reason with things is the best defense against things like cults or things like brainwashing or propaganda. And the best defense for those is being able to reason and talk and communicate. Because if you can't do that and you're relying on ChatGPT, it's going to blow your mind. Like when you get out in the real world, someone else who was taught how to do those things is going to be able to just do whatever they want with your mind, because you're going to have no defense. At least from my understanding and how I've seen things play out.
I think that's more logic and reason than it is writing, though. Like, it's been able to research and to look up and understand of what's being said and to look for the fallacy in it than more so the writing aspect.
Sure, but how do you prove to me that you've done that logical research and the
well, in the real world, the proof would be the end result of what you do, what your action is as that person, right? Like, if I go to work, my boss isn't going to tell me I need to write down my steps on a piece of paper and say I'm going to physically turn into him what I'm going to go to work. He's going to look and say, okay, what was the end result of the project that's assigned to me? So I think that's where, like, I get what you're saying, and I 100% support you. I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I 100% think that kids should do more writing in school. I think school should back away from using iPads and laptops for everything, because I do think it's making kids dumber, and I think the rest of the world is laughing at America in terms of its education system, because we continue to spiral downwards instead of upwards. But I also, as much as I don't like generative AI, I also know that that battle's lost unless the companies start pulling out because the amount of money just gets to be too great, which right now they don't seem to be doing that. So I don't think it's changing. Like, it's not going away. And kind of like what Tim said, it's going to be treated as a tool. And the classrooms, whether people like it or not, there's going to be instructors that are starting to use this part of their teaching, because there are ways that it could be potentially invaluable in some of those scenarios. But I do also agree that it's going to be a crutch for a lot of kids, and they're going to rely on it too much and get false information out of it. But they get false information out of searching the web. Just because you go on Google and type something up before AI took over the web search results doesn't mean what you got was accurate. You got 1,000,000,001 different things, and you had to have logic and reason to decipher whether what you were looking at was a real site that had real information that had real value, or whether it was just some generated crap that's been there for decades now that people put together just for hits. I mean, so it all comes back to be preparing people for what life is going to be like outside of their 12 years of education, whether they go on to college, a trade school, or they go right into the workforce. Like, that end result should be getting them to have the mind to reason through these things and think on their own, rather than becoming just a robot in the machine.
Yeah, 100% agree.
That there's a person at work, and she will write a 1-sentence email, and then she'll take it and put in ChatGPT and say, make this more professional. And she'll take that output and she'll do it again, and a third time, and a fourth, and 5 times. And she'll take this one sentence that she had, and it'll end up being 4 paragraphs of fluff that say absolutely nothing. And she just now I sound professional. And I'm like, oh God. I'm like, no one takes you seriously. Can you not see that? It just.
I mean, I think I'd rather have that than some of the emails I get with people where I have to hack together what they're trying to say, because it's not even a formulated sentence yet. Like, they mid-thought, they just switched directions, and in their mind it made sense. You look at this, I'm like, that's just gibberish. There's not even English in there.
I might be guilty of that, but I do read my stuff before I hit send. So,
despite what you might think reading some of my X posts, I do too most of the time.
Listen, if social media doesn't have typos in it, it's not a real person typing it.
That's so
no one gets their punctuation perfectly on a freaking smartphone all day when they're rattling something off at 280 characters. Like, if it's flawless, either you took way too much time to put that together, AI created it, or you are a grammar Nazi and we can't be friends because I can't deal with that shit.
Well, Bo, I am 100% behind you on that.
Like, if you're going to correct me on there, kick rocks and get out, man. I don't have time for your nonsense. You knew what I was saying regardless of how I spelled it.
Yeah. No, but I have a kid that I'm tutoring in English right now. Well, technically I'm tutoring him in writing, but he is currently deciphering the differences between there, and there. And so I've had to be more pedantic about that in our lessons so he can understand the differences. And so taking then that in my tutoring time and then getting off tutoring and going to social media, like my brain starts hurting. I'm like, no, that's wrong. You can't. Wait a minute. Wait. Let's think about this for a second, guys. And then no one ever does because it's social media. But
So, Al, when do you think your book is going to be out?
the current plan is May 26th. I'm thinking it'll be the Friday before my birthday, which let me check when that is. I'm hoping it'll be the 22nd. So the 22nd is the Friday before I turn 25. So, I've got a whole bunch of plans in the works for that too.
So everyone, his book will be out in September, hopefully next year. You're an author. If you don't miss deadlines, you're not really an author.
Okay, I see how it is.
So I was supposed to have published the sequel to Haley Traveler in July of this year, and I'm hoping to have it out by July of 26 now. Now, in my defense, Proxima Station took over my life, and I'm writing 3 novellas in that series first, but which was not planned. But and after that, I promise everyone I'll get back to Brittany after I write my grimdark Choose Your Own Adventure set in Brittany.
Yeah, I was going to say, Mike is a very reliable narrator, everyone, and you should definitely listen to what he says and take no grains of salt.
It's only been 2 years since I last published a Brittany novel. Only 2, and I've published 3 books in that time. Just not in that series.
That's a crazy thing, because right now, like, I don't really have any fans yet, so I'm immensely curious as to what it'll be like or what it'll feel like when I write a series and finish the series, and then have people like blowing up my DMs or my @ mentions on X and just like, hey, when's the next book coming out? And I'm just like, guys, the show's over. Like, I don't know what you want.
Well, one, most likely they're not going to be blowing up your DMs. That's not the life of an indie author.
Well, I have dreams.
I mean, hey, have dreams
before you even get started.
Have dreams. You can be the exception to the rule. I'm just telling you, in my experience, I've had all of 1 people ask me when is the next Brittany book coming out now, and I published the last one in January of 24, so it'll be a year here in another week.
Hey, so, I mean, even 1 person asking me when's the next thing happening. All right, so I'm at the point where I have an usher at church who I told that I was thinking about writing a Western at some point. And now 2 years later, he's been like, how's that Western coming along? And that blew my mind. Like, I was like, what? Like, you remember that? Like, I haven't even touched that thing in like 8 months, dude.
See,
that's what I feel bad about now. But
that's when you have to say, what was the plot of that again? What did I tell you? And that'll get him to, I was like, oh, what's her face? It's from my series, Brittany. I'm like, she's a druid. She's with Sinric. What's her name? And my buddy's like, if you don't know your character's name, I don't know who else in this world would. I'm like, I know who it is. I just, I'm like, I'm old. I can't remember the name, which is why I'm scared to death to go back to book 5 in Brittany, because I'm going to read all 4 books first to remember what actually happened.
You don't keep some sort of like a document or catalog that goes, Mike, for contingency of just having it all there? Oh, yeah. Rip book 5.
Got to work on that.
So, and I tell everyone
random mashed potatoes that show up in the book here and there.
So, books 1 through 4 is basically setting up the chessboard. So everything is set up, and now 5, 6, and 7 is when I knock everything down, and there'll be only 1 at the end. So I'm like, I kind of have to know where these things are, because I kind of have to start killing people, which I'm kind of excited for. But I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I have to take my leave here because I need to hop off and go do some other things tonight. But thanks for having me on, Mike. This was a blast.
Yep. Thank you.
I think his name is Ro. I said the
Bro.
same as well.
Bro. Yep.
Yeah, it was a great time. You're a phenomenal host, and keep it up, y'all. Keep the beacon lit, y'all. Catch you later.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
Exit stage left immediately.
Oh, so good old Sebastian Carlisle, who we need to have on the show. Last time I talked to him, well, the first time I talked to him, he was writing 3 different books simultaneously. And he had 3 different walls that were empty in his room. So in each wall, he had Post-it notes wherever he came up with an idea, and he just put it on the timeline. And then he started mixing them up, so he started color coding them so that at least he could tell which wall it was supposed to go on. Then I asked him, I think he's up to 7 books. And last I heard, he's like, I got 29 ideas for books. And I'm like, dude, you make
That's a
my
lot of
brain hurt.
books. That's like Joe with the Hybrid Helix series. Like, there's so many books planned. I couldn't keep all that straight. Like, I'm in awe for him and Jim Butcher and people that can just keep building on that and have it make sense, but also remember where they started and where they want it to get, because that's just so much content.
32.
Good Lord.
I probably have 32 ideas, but that's about it. No plans. I got a book where I write down all my ideas whenever I have an idea pop into my head. I got to make a cool idea, jot it down. That's it.
So I figured with my 3 series, Bertani's going to be 7, Proxima the first arc is going to be 6, and Haley Traveler is going to be 5. So that's 18 books. I've published 6. So, I kind of did the math, and I'm like, okay, I'm 55. I have 12 more books I have to put out. No new series for Mike. Let's finish something first.
Yeah.
So no more Spiffbos or Space Fix or Sphinx for Mike, because my 3 series are there, and that's it. Until I get something finished and taken off my plate. Of course, you always think of the spin-offs like, well, after it's complete, then, but
time to put those blinders on, Mike. Got to put those blinders on.
And I talked to Tobias Youngblood. I'm always like, I'm jealous because you wrote a trilogy. You're finished with a trilogy. You have a completed set. Whenever I go to Comic-Con, it's like, is it complete? I'm like, no, I've written 4 out of 7 books. And they're like, no.
It kills me when people say that, though. They're like, I don't want to touch it till it's finished. I'm like, well, then why would the author finish it? Like, I get if you don't want to read it till then, but if you think you're interested, if you're not going to buy the book now, what motivation do they have to keep doing it? Like, if they're losing, especially if it's an indie author, like, they're losing money to put this out there. If they don't recoup some of it, why would they keep the series going? At some point, you have to be like, well, it's not selling. I got to cut losses and move on.
Yeah. Tobias always tells me, he's like, well, that was your choice to write long-ass series. You could have just done trilogies. And I'm like, shut up, Tobias. You're not wrong, but it doesn't mean I like what you have to say.
Don't come back at me with logic. I'm not accepting this.
Start using ChatGPT, will you? It tells me I'm great.
Mike, it tells everyone they're great.
Yeah.
It's like a mother. It has to lie to you by nature. Unless
you specifically ask it to lie to you or hate you.
Be mean to me, ChatGTP.
I had for Proxima Station, I sent it out on Fiverr to have people beta read it, and the one girl sent it back, and it said, your book, United States, is a fun sci-fi romp. And I'm like, you used AI for this? And she's like, no, I did it all myself. I'm like, the very first sentence says, your book, United States, the title's Proxima Station. So she goes, oh, I'll fix it. And so she fixed that, and she sent it to me. I'm like, it still refers to my book as United States like 2 other times that I didn't tell her about, so she didn't know to fix it because she couldn't even do find and replace. And I finally, it's like, look, you're refunding my money, or I'm giving you 1 star, and I'll give a lengthy review as to why no one should ever do that again. And she's like, no, give me 1 more shot. I'm like, I gave you 2, and you still used AI. So finally, she gave the money back, and I was like, 1 star, uses AI, tries to say otherwise. And now I'm like, do I even use Fiverr? The one person I saw had said, "I do not use AI," but she also wanted $200 to read my novella, which I'm like, fine if it's Palmer's heliotrope at 800 pages, but when it's 133 pages, I think $200 is a little pricey.
It's a
To
little
beta read,
unrealistic
no
of an
less.
ask.
Not, but I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll just have to take responsibility for myself and slow down and do it right. But we know that's not going to happen because then I'll lose content to talk about on the show.
That's it.
Yeah, that seems to be like the hardest thing for you guys. From what I, as an outsider looking in, like I always am seeing authors asking for beta reads and trying to find them, and like I envy the people that can do that as an assistant. Like I'm glad that there's people out there, but I couldn't do it. Like I need a complete story. Like the one time I tried and was like getting 2 chapters at a time, I'm like, I can't do this. Like my brain can't stay focused long enough if you're gonna do this. And then like a month later, I get 2 more chapters. I got to remember what the first 2 chapters were now because it's been so long, and I've read something else in between. Yeah, that's why I can't read multiple books at once because I get just too distracted from it. I got to just plow through one at a time.
I've beta read for a couple authors, and it's hard when you're like, okay, I got to break the news to you. Here's what I think is wrong. Take it or leave it, but these are obvious problems that you can easily fix. And the last one I did, he just like, okay, thanks, and just never said. I'm like, did he make changes? Did he not? He hasn't published the book yet, so I don't know. But I was like, there's a lot of simple things that are wrong with this that I try, and I got to the point where I'm like, okay, don't list 65 things because that'll overwhelm anybody, and especially if you're a new author. I'm like, pick 3. Pick 2 things that you liked and 3 things, the 3 biggest problems, and leave it at that, and the next person around can hit the next stuff on, and just. But it's hard because I'm like, me being me, I'm like, and this is something can this is easily fixed. You refers to JA as JA 16 times in a row. Maybe use him.
Yeah.
Oh, and make sure you take that extra chapter out.
So I will tell you, at Worldcon, Palmer, she took Haley Traveler and she read it and she goes, Mike, it's really a good book, but I think you need to have a proofreader. I was like, oh, I had a proofreader. And then I made changes after the proofreader. And she said, yeah, I kind of noticed. So she proofread it because she used to be a proofreader, and she sent it back to me. So this is, I got back from Palmer. Notice all those tabs. So yeah, I am learning the hard way that after your proofreader, don't go make changes to your book after that. Other than the things they say you should do. Other than leave it alone. Don't go change. I just want to change this one chapter. Ugh. So yeah, I am sufficiently chastised that I'm going to take my time for Proxima 2.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's your story to tell the way you want to tell it.
I mean, the nice thing is I'm an indie author, so I can make these changes, re-upload it, have new things printed, and go on with my life. So those people who have chapter 18 twice in Haley Traveler, you have the collector's edition.
Yep, that's it.
So if I get big and famous, which will not happen because God, I don't wish that upon myself. But if I did, think how much that'd be worth.
That's why I bought when Ryan told us at Cahill at Dragon Con a couple years back, told us that how one of his editions got goofed up and an entire paragraph got deleted and replaced with a Z. I literally pulled my phone up at the bar and bought it off of Barnes & Noble while it was still live. He's like, can't fix it till I get home. I don't have the file with me to redo the proof. I'm like, I'm buying this right now because if that ever, the trajectory he's going, I'm like, that could be worth money someday. And it's going to be an easy thing just to buy and set aside that I'm never going to read it because I've got the hardcover editions that I read, but I'll grab his paperback that has that goof up in it and save it because somebody who's going to become an Uber fan is going to want that someday. Like I like collectibles, but I like the pretty editions like that's or signed stuff like that little thing would never appease me. Like it's not something I would chase after, but there's obviously people that do that love that stuff.
Yep. So, Bo, just an aside, did I ever give you a copy of Proxima?
No, because I'm supposed to get it from you at Worldcon, and then Worldcon was a blitz of like every day there was somebody pulling some different direction, and I didn't even get to meet Grady from our team at Worldcon. We tried to meet up a couple times. Palmer was trying to arrange that. It's like every time she'd message me, I wouldn't get the message till like later. I'm like, oh, I can come now. Like, oh, now he's tied up. And yeah, or at you seen it like the night at the bar where I got to see you briefly. It was like every time I tried to talk to somebody else was like, come here, let's do this. And I'm like, okay. Like,
Yep.
that's kind of why I go though.
It was kind of crazy. It was nice. I really liked my strategy. I did something right, and I'm volunteering at the book lounge, and then I'm there because everybody would come to the book lounge at least once to have a seat, relax,
Yep.
decompress. So I got to see everybody, and I didn't have to run around like a crazy person. So very much thought that was I was like, it's rare that I get something right, especially on the first try, but that's something I got right on the first try.
Yeah, that was a nice area that they had set up there to build it. And then you had like the little food area right next to it too, so you could go get a snack if you needed to. The one nice thing about WorldCon was that at least the hotel we booked at was kitty corner across the street. So like it was super easy to run back and disappear for a few minutes. Whereas like Dragon Con, the couple times I've been there now, I was either 15, 20-minute walk away or like a 10-minute subway ride away. So like either way, because any of the main hotels where like it's right at, they have DJs till like 4 a.m. No, thank you. Like, I want to be able to go to bed when I go to bed. I don't want to hear music all night. Like that place is wild in comparison. Like WorldCon was much calmer in comparison to what Dragon Con is like.
I've never been to Dragon Con, but I can imagine. Are you going to Dragon Con in 26?
No, I think if I go to anything, well, at least tentatively, no. Right now, my goal would be to go to Dragon Steel. I want to go see Brandon's conference to see what that's like, especially now that he's doing the balls. Like that looks like a lot of fun, and it's everyone that goes there seems to say it's their favorite place of all the ones they go each year. And so I'm just curious to see what that's going to be. But he does it in like the wintertime, and that for me, like he was doing them all right, I think like a week before Thanksgiving, if I remember right, which was a hard time to get away. And then now it was like the start of December. Well, if I'd have gone this year like I originally wanted to, we got hit with the blizzard here. Like my wife would have been stuck. If had my neighbor not been in town to like clear snow to let her out. So that's the hard part of me wanting to go. That is making sure that there's gonna be somebody around that can take care of those responsibilities when I'm not there. But tentatively, that's where I'd like to go. I'd like to, like you said earlier, I'd like to go to WorldCon when it goes up to Canada, so I can meet some friends that are up there finally. And then I think it'd be fun to go to Australia. I don't know. I don't like flying though. That's a really long flight, so I have hesitancy of saying I want to come there.
I always told my brother, it's like, if I'm going to go to Australia, I'm going for 2 weeks because, spending 24 hours or so on a plane to go for 1 week just sounds crazy. Yeah. So, I will be retired then, so I could do that. At least I'll have the time. Hopefully I have the money. We'll see.
I'm just worried if I go there, Josh is going to pick me up in his car and have one of them gigantic spiders just waiting for me.
Yes, he will, but it won't be intentional.
Well, that's what he was like. He was like, my mom was driving with him and almost wrecked the car because she put the sun visor down and one came flopping on her lap and made her freak. I'm like, no, I would have been in a pole, man. I'd have been so scared. I'm so deathly afraid of spiders. Done.
Yeah, we do have the problem because they tend to move in the dark, so it goes across your windshield, but you don't know if it's inside or outside. So
no, dude. This doesn't make me want to go there anymore. I see them like the video on social media. And there's just the background, this huge thing on their wall. I'm like, no, I'd burn that house down. I'd be out of there.
Yep. No, I have
don't
to hose my car down.
Do snakes. I can do everything else.
Yeah, I have to hose my car down every couple of days because they will climb on it.
I can't. That's crazy. You literally live in a grimdark.
Yeah. No, well, I live in a national park, so it's literally everything that wants to kill you.
Oh man.
So.
Nope, not for me. I'm not built for that.
So, Jay, I've been told before that I have like 0 chance of this happening, but when I go to Australia, I want to see a duck-billed platypus, and everyone's like, no, they burrow so deep you'll never see one.
You won't see one in the wild. I've seen one in the wild once, but you can go to a zoo and see one. But yeah, they're kind of, pretty secretive creatures.
Okay, that's on my bucket list. I mean, the Sydney Opera House, fine. I've seen pictures. I don't care. But a platypus, got to see a platypus. Yeah. And I also got to see a kangaroo, but I'm pretty sure that won't be a problem.
No, kangaroos are everywhere. And if you don't see one, you'll see a dead one. Easy. Because they're like, roadkill all the time.
They're going to box you.
Only the red ones.
There's different colored kangaroos. What?
Yeah. They got red. The ones that you always see jacked in the videos, the red ones, you find them in the more deserty areas. And then we've got grey kangaroos, which are like very placid. They won't attack you generally.
And how about dingoes? Will I see dingoes? Wild dingoes?
No, not unless you go out into the desert kind of thing.
No, this is not a body made for deserts, so no.
No. I did know a guy who knew someone who had one kind of like as a pet, but like you got to have a license for it or whatever. But it kept escaping because they're extremely intelligent.
I just don't get how you guys live like that. That's crazy to me.
I'm still alive, so
Other things trying to kill you every day.
Well, I don't. It's not every day that they try to kill you.
We had a show where we were comparing, deaths Australians to animals and Americans to animals, and every single time it's like, nope, more people died from bear attacks than died from, pick your animal in Australia. And it's like, nope, more deaths in America happened with wildlife than Australia by far. So
yeah,
but you have to venture in the woods there to find that crap. These things are just hanging out in freaking metropolitan areas
on your car. Yes, you have to hose them down.
Yeah,
you can go down. What do they call the lane on the interstates? The carpool lane, because you got a big ass spider next to you. You don't even need a second passenger. You already got one.
So Jay, does this mean when you park your car, you have to roll your windows up every time?
Well, I do that anyway, but
see, that would drive me nuts, especially in the summer. I'm not rolling my windows up unless I'm, going downtown Richmond or somewhere, in the city. But at my place, I'm like, unless it's going to rain, But otherwise, I'm like, no, leave the windows down. Why get the car hot?
Yeah, well, I mean, here anything could get in there if your windows are down.
Yeah, I know. That's why I asked. I was like, oh God, that would drive me nuts.
Yeah, we have birds, a lot of birds that are mischief makers. Like they'd get in there too.
See, I get mad when I saw cat paw over top the roof of my car at one point. Muddy cat paws. And I was like, okay, you know what? But yeah, nobody's getting inside the car.
Yeah.
Well, if you leave the windows down, they can get in easy.
Well, they could, but I've never had that problem.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't stolen the car already.
You don't have raccoons near you? And they hop in and go for a drive?
There's nothing in that car that a raccoon would want. There's no food. And Bo, if you've seen the cars that I drive, no one is going to try to steal my car because they're pretty much afraid it's going to break down in a couple blocks and let's walk back and ask for a lift. So yeah, I went to Baltimore Comic-Con and I found a hotel a day's in for only $50 a night. So I was like, yes, this sounds good in downtown Baltimore. Shockingly, it was in the really bad area of town.
Like $50 a night should have been the red flag.
So there was no on-site parking, so you had to park in a parking garage, or you could park on the street. And the one time when I came back, I was like, oh, you know what? I had so much trouble getting the thing to register. You have to push the button, like the heat sensor, and it was cold, so my finger would not, activate. I was like, there's a spot on the street. So I parked my car on the street. I left the sunroof open all night long in downtown Baltimore in the bad part of town, and no one touched the thing because it was a piece of crap. And, no one was interested.
You're a brave man.
Well, no, just dumb. And that's when I was like, you know what? I've used all my luck up. I don't have to play the lottery because there's zero chance of me winning because I've used all my luck this one night in Baltimore. It was so bad the McDonald's closed at 8 p.m.
Oh, wow.
The inside closed at 7, and you had like an hour left to drive through, and then they just shut the thing down and everyone went home and bunkered down for the night. So, yeah.
I think we went one year when, like, over Christmas, we used to go when I was younger. We'd go out to, like, Arizona to see one set of grandparents, then go to, like, California, San Diego area, and then come back home. But we'd always end up going through Utah, and I don't remember, or Utah and New Mexico, like either or. And I don't remember where we stopped in New Mexico this time, but we went to the hotel we were supposed to stay at. We were like, all right, we got there late. We were running behind. We'll just eat at the hotel restaurant. And we were just about to place the order. My dad got up to go look at like what the salad bar had. and he saw some people, and they came over to him, like stopped him, like, whatever you do, don't order the chicken. It's green. And like they were grabbing all their stuff to leave. They're like, we're not gonna eat there. My dad comes running over right as all of us at the table are ordering chicken from the thing. He's like, nope, cancel order, we're out. So then we leave there. We go to some other restaurant, and it was, I kid you not, $10 for a glass of soda. And this is back in like the late 80s, early 90s. My dad's like, nope, this place is too expensive. We're not eating here. Like, I don't know why they're charging so much. This is insane. So it didn't look ritzy, but apparently like that was like one of the high-end restaurants there. So we go to McDonald's and we get a normal meal, and he gives the lady 100 and should have had like, I don't know, 50 or 60 bucks back in change. And he was so flustered by that point, he just drove off and left all of his change. Let's get back at McDonald's. Back to the hotel. He's like, never again. We're never going on another vacation. He was so angry because like everything that day just went wrong that could have gone wrong. And you have 4 kids in the back fighting and screaming for the last 12 hours on the road or whatever.
Yep.
All right, lads. I think I got to get going. But
Yep.
thanks for inviting me on.
Yep. Thanks for coming. I hope you're having a good Boxing Day. I have to actually go to work tomorrow,
Oh, fun.
but there should be about 4 people there, and they've already told me I can't stay past lunch, and they strongly encourage me not to arrive until 10. So, and
So you're
people
not
wonder,
really working tomorrow.
and people are like, why don't you take those days vacation? I'm like, why would I? So, yeah. So I got to work tomorrow, allegedly. So thanks for coming on.
Nice. See you guys.
Yep. Thanks, everybody.
See you, Mike. See you guys.
End stream.